Mic check. There we go. All right. Jody, can you say something for me?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Hello, Stilo.
All right. Hello, everyone. We are live with Jody Phillips, an artist from the UK. This is the MomentM podcast. We do this every week where we dive into artists all around the world doing all kinds of different things and just special people. This is Jodie. She's from the UK. She's a British artist who has spent the majority of her life in Hertfordshire. She's been studying typographic design at Watford College that led to a 12-year career as a designer. After which, Jodie began to explore the freedom of expression through abstract art. She has an amazing website, jodiephillips.artistjody.com. Artistjody.com, and that's Jodi. Definitely check her out, check out her work, and everything she's doing. It's actually a really incredible website. It's actually 3D, so she's way ahead of her curve. Jody, how are you? What's going on? How have you been? Welcome.
Hey, Stilo. Thanks for inviting me along. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And thanks for bringing me along, as I said.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. I met you in this new internet called Web3. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's a huge economic shift. There's a huge internet shift, tech shift right now. Things are turning three-dimensional, or if it's two-dimensional, they're adding layers to it. So X has been a really cool platform, no, formerly known as Twitter, who kind of adopted like a Clubhouse audio space feature. And there are people doing spaces all day long from all around the world, 24/7, and they're discussing tech, entertainment, spirituality, and it's the first time around the world that we get to exchange information and in real time and really elevate and grow. So which with this huge conscious shift, I met Jody. Jody's an amazing artist. She does some really incredible stuff. She just made like the coolest 3D asset for me. We'll talk about that later. But Jody, how are you? What's going on? How did you find art? How did you find your passion for art? What inspired that?
Okay, so as you said earlier, I studied graphic design, and worked for 12 years in the industry, from designing children's toys to cigarette packaging. And then I developed RSI in my hand, repetitive strain injury, basically because I was using a mouse 8 hours a day. So I had some time off work, and my mum said to me, "Don't sit around doing nothing, get some paint." So I did. And the first one, it was almost sort of like just throw it down, and as a sort of thing to my mum. And someone came round about an hour later and saw it, and straight away said, "I want to buy that. That's amazing." So that kind of made me think, maybe there's something in this. So I carried on practicing, and then I went back to my day job for a while. But they ended up severing my contract because I couldn't work for 8 hours using a mouse all day long. Um, so then I thought, right, what shall I do? I don't really want to do this anymore. So I went through the Prince's Trust and got funding to start my own business. And I went along to a major trade show, and I sold everything that I had, and that gave me the money to carry on and do the next one. And I kind of fell into it from there and carried on working, creating paintings, doing exhibitions and trade shows. And my partner Mish is great because he comes along, he sells. So I just get the creative element of it. Um, and that's basically what I've been doing for 27 years. Um, and then I also got into Second Life back in 2008, I think it was. And I love that, starting to get my head into a 3D space and how to build and things like that. And then that brought us forward because I carried on doing that and then developing those skills. And then we ended up with the pandemic. So I started to do more with that because obviously the galleries were closed, shops were closed, no exhibitions. And I kind of fell into Web3 that way. Um, so that's kind of how I ended up here.
Wow, what a journey. Um, so how did you find Second Life?
Second Life was, I can't remember how I stumbled across it. I heard about it somewhere. I mean, back in those days, there wasn't really social media. And I thought, oh, that could be fun. So I went, and then I started to upload my own abstract art into Second Life and use it as textures on prems, which are the building blocks of Second Life. Opened a gallery. I was selling my digital paintings then for Linden dollars as items that people could hang in their homes in Second Life. Sounding familiar? Um, and I think really Second Life is like the grandfather of the metaverse. It's where the whole metaverse is heading. It's got its own currency. You have it's all digital. You can't really take things out of it. You put things in, and you build a second life. Um, which was amazing. It was really, really good fun. And then I also did texturing on clothing. So I started to design my own clothes in Second Life and sell those as well.
Right, and I think that's where my curiosity for everything that you're doing really I think comes to a connection here. For for me with what my new experience in the virtual realm in the digital space, and it's been an amazing memorable journey, met so many people, and I could only imagine in 2008 what was the mindset like, what was being talked about in Second Life, what was the vibe like, what was the vibe?
It was really cool. It was a lot of it was experiences. I remember that Hertfordshire University actually built a version of their university in Second Life. Um, Calvin Klein was doing product promotions, so you had they were doing, I think it was CK1 they did a promotion for, and you had a virtual perfume. And when you had that on your avatar, you were transmitting bubbles in the air as you were walking along. So people knew you were wearing it. Um, and it was meeting people, as I say, going on experiences, roller skating off the top of a high-rise building and paragliding. Um, and it was an opportunity to meet people from other places in the world because you were all having the same virtual experience together, which I thought was amazing, being able to connect on that level, share an experience, albeit virtual. Um, so I really, really enjoyed that element of it.
And there wasn't any virtual headsets at the moment, right? Like commercially.
No, well, not no, not that I know of. It was, I think, one of the difficulties with Second Life is that it's a software you download rather than the current metaverses where you log into through a browser. So that put a lot of people off because maybe their computer couldn't handle it. If you were in a place where there were a lot of people, it was quite laggy, so it was very slow, maybe not displaying properly. But the development of it has continued, and it's still there today. It's incredible.
So like we all grow up and we or like as we live through life, like we find things we like I really got into like sports games, and I think like when this evolution of the internet came where you could like kind of it's almost like The Sims, but it's a lot it's got a currency and there's some serious stuff going on in there creatively. People are creating textures and builds, fashion. Um, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think was the peak of it, and and when do you think it like kind of died down
Um,
for you? And
I
and and
guess the
and where is it now?
Okay, for me, it died down a few years later purely because I got involved in real life a lot more and doing more exhibitions, and that kind of took my time away from it. Um, I think it's going to be redeveloped a lot because of the way the metaverse has been introduced and is now moving forwards. Everything's going so fast in the whole Web3 space. It's you blink and you miss something. You think, oh no, now I've got to learn that. Um, so I think it's constantly developing. And I was listening to an interview and they were saying, someone said, can't they put Second Life currency on the blockchain? but the number of transactions that they have in a day would be too much for that to handle, which is what they said at the time. So whether they will or not one day, I don't know. I believe that Philip Rosedale has gone back to Second Life as CEO, so we'll see what develops there. I think it would be good to have a mobile version, and iPad version and VR, which is where all the metaverses are. So in a way, Second Life needs to catch up with that side of it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what are your favorite things to create, like in 3D? So we know you're a 3D artist as well. I've seen some amazing like jeans with your paint on it. On your website, it's there, like the actual pair of jeans. And in at the events, you'll come in rocking your artist Jodi hoodie with your painted jeans. That is from really painting. Um, so what's like your favorite stuff to create? Like when you create fashion, what's your favorite part about the creating fashion did in 3D?
I think for me, it's because a lot of the textures that you create. So I'll use my paintings. In Second Life, I made some dresses out of my painting. So for me, it was an extension of the creative process to be able to actually see it as a product rather than just a painting on a wall. Um, so that's quite a fun element. And I like to challenge myself. I like to learn new things. So if someone says I can't, I want to try and find a way that I can. Um, and it's just nice to see people walking around, wearing things that you've created. It turns the avatar into a canvas almost.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a platform to like give us a marketplace. Let us create and
Oh,
and
yeah, I
change and
know.
sell, you know.
Yeah, yeah. The creative side on Second Life is incredible. You can create anything from the clothing, everything you see is pretty much user created. And you can go shopping, and you can go shopping for skin and for hair and nails and jewelry and clothes. You name it, they sell it, literally.
And, and when would you find yourself like in Second Life? Like would it be daily, weekly?
Not as much as as I would have done. I try and pop in once a week if I can. I was in there today. I wanted to upgrade my avatar a bit, so
Wow.
and
Did you
that
run into any old friends?
no, but there's a group of us on X who keep talking about going in at the same time, and we want to drag you in there because I
Yeah.
think you'd enjoy it. It'd be interesting.
Add me to the group, please.
Definitely, yeah. We really must sort that out because I
Yeah,
think it would be fun. And doing these experiences is so much more fun with people rather than on your own,
totally.
for sure.
Some people have been like, "Oh, come to VR chat," and we went over to VR chat and played some really cool group games, like Among Us, and where you try and figure out who the killer is, and it's crazy. It's so much fun. Um, and then as far as like architecture, do you like? Would you find yourself like? Would you say you're pretty good at architecture in 3D and in creating 3D environments? We
Um,
had a party at your chapel, which was super cool.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah. I really enjoy building in 3D. I do it a lot for real life as well. So if I want something changed in the house, I'll build it in 3D and show my husband, and then he has to build it in real.
And
Um,
shout out to Mish too. And if you guys want to learn how to
yeah,
salsa, he does a Twitter space, an X space, audio space, and sometimes he'll do the video and do some tutorials. So definitely check out Salsa Mish.
yeah, he's cool. Um, I've forgotten what we were saying now. Where were we?
3D art you really
Yeah,
enjoy.
3D architecture. Yeah, I really do like building buildings. If I could knock walls down and move them in real life, I'd be quite dangerous because Mish would come home and every day it would be changed.
Right.
The chapel was, we actually went to see the building in real life. It's absolutely beautiful chapel that's pretty much derelict. Needed an awful lot of money spent on it. But I kind of fell in love with the building, so I came home and built it in 3D.
Wow. Did you do that from
Um,
scratch?
that building, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow. Good job.
So all of the roof, I forget what they're called,
Wow.
all of the roof structure. I created a template and then made all the wooden bits and
Do
all
you
the windows and
do you
doors.
sell it?
I haven't as yet. No, I
But
don't.
you should put it on Sketchfab for sale.
Yeah, maybe I should. Also, that's all changed now. It's not Sketchfab, it's now called Fab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Sketchfab were bought by Epic Games.
Oh, wow.
So now there's a new marketplace called Fab for
Holy
Epic
moly.
Games. Yeah.
That's huge. I had no idea.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah. About a month ago it all
Whoa.
went through. So yeah.
Well, that's when you know it's coming.
Absolutely, yeah. For sure. For
Wow.
sure. I believe they've improved the 3D viewer. Um, but the one on Sketchfab's amazing anyway, so
Yeah.
be interesting to see what they've done.
Yeah. So for me, I'm starting to learn how to do a little this, a little of that, and I really want to, create some assets that like people can purchase on their own.
Yep.
Like that's why, like if I had a church that I built from scratch, I would definitely have it for sale on Sketchfab right now. But yeah, I'm working on this world. I want to put it for sale, have it on my website, do you plan on doing that? Like, I know that you create a lot, and like, are you waiting for like the right platforms to come along? Like, do you think the technology's here for us to be able to sell like digital assets right now, in your opinion?
Um, I think we need a really, they could do with a really good website for selling digital assets that is simple to use and also simple for the user. Um, I think it's very difficult selling things like buildings, again, because the marketplace isn't there. But I'm more than happy to sell anything. I'm just the world's worst artist at blowing my own trumpet and putting my things for sale. I just
Is
For me it's creating, but I really should. I
is
should put
is
things
that
for
one of your
sale.
pieces behind you?
Yeah, that's a
Wow. Let's see
big
it.
painting.
Oh
There you
my
go.
God.
That's 1 meter
Jeez.
square.
Wow. Now
It's
that.
really heavily textured. Yeah. And I use a lot of gold and pearlescent. So as the light shimmers on it, it has more depth to it. So
And how long did that take you?
I was probably working on that for a couple of days.
And the name was Love Has the name of the piece?
Well, this piece is called Journey because
Journey.
it's like a journey of a couple
Wow.
walking along, holding hands. I say, well,
That's a good
but the
one.
lighting in here is not good for it. So,
Wow.
um, yeah.
I that's an insane piece. Really
Thank you.
kudos on that one. Um so okay, so where do we see these, like where do you see the meta, like okay, so someone said, I read this in an article yesterday. They're saying like 2024, 2025 is the year metaverse goes mainstream.
Okay.
Agree or disagree?
I'd like to agree. I'd like to say that it will. A lot of people that we meet out of Web3 haven't heard of most of it. Um, you say a metaverse and they think of Facebook. And you're like, no, 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 it's not just Facebook. It's, totally different. And we're always encouraging people to come. And I think because you can now, with the likes of Spatial, you can go in without creating an account. You can go in as a guest user. You can meet people. You can have the experience to know whether it's for you or not. And I think it will grow. I think definitely it's the way forward. AR experiences, when Apple bring out or whoever brings out glasses that you wear that give you the VR experience, without the big bulk. Because the minute you put the headset on, you're excluding yourself from the people within your environment. Um, so I think when we get to that level, that will become more mainstream for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a part where I like to have at the end of our podcast, where it's a game called Agree or Disagree. And
Uh-oh.
so, um, yeah, it's basically questions like that. So, um, here we go. AI will replace half of today's jobs by 2030. Agree or disagree? Thoughts?
Agree.
Wow.
Agree. And my thoughts are that not that AI will replace the jobs, people who know how to use the AI will replace the jobs.
Right.
So if you're not catching up and learning AI, you might get left behind.
NFTs will be as common as social media profiles by 2026. Agree or disagree?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm not sure where NFTs are headed. I'd like to think yes. I think maybe as they become used more for authenticity or proof of purchase, proof of ownership, then yes.
Yeah, I agree on that one too. I think the NFTs are going to be a big flex. Like, if you own a certain thing and maybe
Yeah.
you get a certain network, almost like maybe if you went to Harvard, a lot of your friends went to Harvard. So maybe if you
Yeah.
get fired one day, you can call up a friend and they're probably somewhere high up.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So let's see. The concept of privacy will no longer exist by 2035. Agree or disagree?
Ooh,
Thoughts?
does it, is it really there now anymore? Do we still have privacy in our lives? Oh, that's a hard one. Probably, yeah.
Probably not, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Wow. Most people will choose to live in the metaverse for at least a part of their daily routine by 2027.
Possible. I think if it goes more mainstream, then yes, because it will become, it may even replace social media. You'll go into a metaverse and you'll have the same everything that you can get on social media, but it'll be in the metaverse and you can talk to people.
The need for formal education will decrease due to online learning and skill based certification programs.
Oh, again, oh, these are tough questions. Maybe education will become in the metaverse.
Wow. Did you know that Donald Trump, he's going to, he made a statement yesterday of like all the changes he was going to make. And I think
Okay.
one of the statements was he's getting rid of the Department of Education in Washington.
Wow.
So that means that every state will now be responsible for their own education. And
Wow.
yeah, so that just kind of reminded me of that right there.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, very interesting. All right. The majority of retail shopping will shift to virtual stores by 2030.
Agree. Yeah. I think it'll become, it's almost like websites become 3D. So instead of going onto Amazon and scrolling through pages and pages, you're going to go into a store and walk around it.
Cool. Last one.
Okay.
Traditional movie theaters will become a thing of the past and replaced by VR experiences.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow.
I think the movie theaters, certainly in this country, I think they're dying off anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, the last time I went to the cinema, there was about 15 people sat
Wow.
there.
I haven't
And
been in years.
you kind of think that if people, not enough people are going, it could get to a point where they can't afford to run them
Crazy.
and people will just go in their own homes with a VR headset and have the same experience but sat at home. So you can pause it if you need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we just did the agree or disagree part, and now we're just going to conclude. I do have like a couple questions for you. I want to thank everybody for listening, everybody for watching. We always have a great time here at MomentM, the podcast. Um, so, Jody, as far as your art goes, how do you, what are you working on right now? Do you have any surprises in store? Anything that we should be looking out for? Whether it's your website evolving or any pieces physically or digitally. Anything you're working on?
Okay, so I've been working on a project that we started 4 years ago, called the VE Centre, which is a virtual exhibition centre. And that was originally done in 360 tour, similar to the tour on my website of my gallery. But both of those, as I say, they're 360 tour. So it's literally you go to one point and you can only see 360 there. And to move, you have to go forward. You can't walk around it the same way that you can in the metaverse. So I'm trying to put both of those into spatial. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. And doing some paintings. We've got Christmas coming up, so there's lots of opportunity for Christmas sales as well.
Mm, wow. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I was trying to show your website and I accidentally closed the window. But I'm gonna try again here in a second. Okay, so the VE Center. So yes, I was a part of the VE Center, the Virtual
You were
Exhibition
part of the
Center.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were. That's
and
how we met.
and that was and you were so ahead of your time. Let's go to artistjodi.com. And and you and Mish were so ahead of your time. To create a website like that was just wow. So right now I'm actually going through your website here, through the old Millhouse Gallery, and have a user index here with a prompt that says enter the tour. So here we are. This is Jody's 3D website, which is incredible. I think that this is the future of websites. Two
Oh, for
dimensional.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are all these? Is this all your art on all the walls here?
Yeah, so in the gallery downstairs, that's all paintings, original paintings that I've used the textures of to create 3D versions. And then
Wow.
if you go, you can go upstairs, and upstairs is like my studio. So it's got like my portfolio of graphic design, some pieces of graphic design work, some 3D models,
Wow.
3D printer. Everything you see, apart from the plants, I made in 3D.
Wow.
So the building, and when I did the building, I
Jeez.
didn't sketch it out to start with. I just built a room and it evolves from there. I like things to organically grow as I work on them.
Wow. Yeah, so guys, she made the walls, the lighting, the lights up there, this whole building, this whole studio. She obviously created these beautiful pieces on the wall. These jeans, incredible. Like, I can't wait to buy a pair from you. So when you mass market, I don't know. I bet you it's going to be like a huge trend soon. Because,
You never know.
yeah,
Epson actually used a print of those jeans to sell their printers at an exhibition.
no way.
Yeah, we used to work early 2000s. I was working with Epson, Hahnemühle, one of the paper manufacturers, Adobe, various companies, and we produced a limited edition book with digital G-clay prints in that were all hand embellished.
Hmm.
And then we did various exhibitions with them with a stand that we called Bar G-clay. So we would educate the trade about how to produce digital prints,
Oh my
basically.
gosh. I love this piece right here. Can you see?
No, I can't. I don't know which one you're looking at.
Uh, I'm gonna tell you. It is Symphony. Oh
Symphony.
my
Yeah, yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Yeah, that's 1 meter square. It's the same size as this big one here.
Wow. Guys, check this out.
So
Artistjodi.com. Some incredible art pieces. I would love to purchase Symphony. Let's see how much it runs, guys. All right. This is a 3D website in the works. Wow, $6,200 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Jody,
Mish,
you're
talk to
so
Mish about
funny.
that side of it.
I
I
lo
don't do
I like
that
it.
side of it.
I
That's Mish.
no,
Yeah.
that's it. I think it's honestly, I think it's accurately priced. Um, I think it's beautiful, and I would pay for that if I could. Absolutely. Um, it's a beautiful piece, and I think it's greatly priced. And I love the name. I love the colors. Is what stands out to me. It reminds me of the jeans almost. Um, yeah, love that. So yeah, this is her website, you guys. Check it out, artistjodi.com. She's got OpenSea NFTs. She says shop 3D, shop art. Really cool stuff. Jodi, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. If I could just ask you one last question that I ask everybody,
Hmm.
what is the legacy that you want to leave behind as an artist when you're spoken of?
Oh,
As
I
a,
don't know. That's a really deep question. Something I've never really thought of. I create because I feel I need to, and it makes me happy when people appreciate the art that when they like my work, whether it's 3D or a painting or a sculpture, whatever. So yeah, I guess I would just want people to like what I do, because I suppose in a way, an artist, when you say, "Do you like this piece?" You're saying, "Do you like this piece of me?" Because it's come from me. It's all about my mood and my emotion. So there you go. Did
yeah,
that answer?
awesome.
Pulled that one out the air.
Very cool, Jody. Well, it was great to get to know you, check out your website, dig deeper into your work. Very cool. I have such a great understanding of what's going on, and I think I see some big things for Jody Phillips and
Oh,
Salsa
thank you.
Niche. Well,
Thank you.
thanks for tuning in, you guys, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Thanks a lot, Stilo.
Thank you.
Bye.